What's going on, guys? So welcome back for another tutorial, and today we're going to cover out how to black out our front headlights. And to me personally, I think there's too much chrome for my taste, but here's my experience on how I did mine. So I hope you guys learned something new and enjoy the video. Here we go, let's get started. We got 3 pop-off rivets on each side. I'm sorry, 4 on each side. We got 3 underneath it and 1 in each side marker. And we got 2 10mm bolts underneath it again, and 2 more on the bottom on each side, 4 in total. 5 10mm bolts and 2 pop-off rivets up top. Once all the screws and the pop-off rivets have been removed, apply some force into the bumper and pull directly towards you, and everything should pop off and you'll hear the clips unclipping. And once that's done, just go ahead and set the bumper down. It's going to hang on some disconnected wires, but you can also remove them and set it down somewhere else if you want to. Oh, and one last thing, I have my car jacked up one side on a jack, so it just made the process a little bit more easier. Once the bumper is out of the way, you got 1 10mm bolt on the headlight and 1 pop-off rivet. 3 10mm bolts on the bottom, 2 on the side, and 1 directly underneath it. And to reach that, you must get an extension on your wrench, and you should be able to reach it with ease. Once that's done, just go ahead and unscrew it, and the bolt should drop straight down to the floor. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and remove the one on the top and the 2 on the side, and put all those somewhere safely where you'll be able to reach it, and then pop off the pop-off rivet. Once you've removed the headlight piece, we're going to go ahead and take out all the bulbs and the rubber seal, and just go ahead and turn the bulbs counterclockwise, and you should be able to remove it. And take out the rubber seal on the low beam, and also take out the rubber seal, actually the entire plastic piece from the high beam. And to do that, we're going to take out 3 Phillips head screws and then turn the piece counterclockwise, and it should pop right off. Once that's done, we're going to take out the entire 6 Phillips head screws that are surrounding the headlight piece. Take all of those out, and we're going to get prepped for the oven. Set the oven for 425 Fahrenheit, and we're going to leave in the headlight for 10 minutes. We're going to set it down for 10 minutes, and once that's done, we're going to take it out and split the case, and this is what it should look like after you split it. Once you split the headlights, we're going to get it prepped for respray, and here I'm using a flat spray paint that I picked up from Lowe's, and I've set down some newspaper, and I set the piece over the newspaper, and I didn't need to clean it or anything like that because it was already sealed by the case. So I just immediately started spraying it, and as you can see, when I spray it, I'm doing it in a burst kind of motion, and I'm applying a very thin coat, a very thin soft coat, so that I can apply a couple more coats once the first coat dries. So make sure you guys go walk around, cover every single chrome part, and cover your face while you're doing it, and make sure to leave it very thin, even layer, and then repeat the process however many times you'd like, depending on the coat. So here's the second piece, or the other half of the headlight case, and what I've come to learn was that this piece isn't actually necessary to paint at all, because if you want to use your high beams with this project, I recommend that you don't paint this piece, because this is the piece that that illuminates your high beam. So you get, this is how you get your high beam. So if you want to use your high beam, I recommend leaving this part out and not spraying it, because doing so is going to inhibit you from using your high beams, and the only way you can use your high beam is to get an HID or a different bulb altogether. So you heard it here first, guys. If you want to use your high beams, do not paint this piece. Now maybe paint the circle piece that's cut out for the bulb, but other than that, please do not paint where the high beam lies. So this is what the headlight looks like after it's been repainted, and as you can see here, I'm already attempting to put the pieces back together, And what I've come to learn is the adhesive that's been dried up after the first time you've put it in the oven, it's actually very difficult to work with. So what is easier is to put it back in the oven for about 5 minutes or so, and then bring it out and then mold the piece back together. It will be much easier to work with, and you'll be able to shift it around and screw the Phillip head screws exactly where they need to be in. So I recommend you guys put it in the oven for 5 minutes, take it out while it's still hot, and then shift it around and find the exact positions where all the screws lie. Now it looks easy because I've sped up the video, but this was actually very frustrating and tedious process to put it back together. So make sure you guys put in the extra time and effort to put it back properly, or else you'll find that moisture or something can get in there and it can really mess up the whole project. So make sure you guys put in the time and effort to put it back together properly. Now, I've taken an extra measure to keep everything sealed. So I took a small plier. You can probably use any kind of plier basically, and then just go around the entire case and make sure that all the adhesive is adhered together properly. So do that. Finally, home stretch. Once you've finished work on the headlight, putting it back is a fairly simple process. It looks like a mess, but on the contrary, it's a fairly simple process. Just try and align the headlight to its original position, and eventually you'll get it down. It takes a little bit of working around and playing around with, but eventually you'll get it down, and everything should pop back into its original place. Once everything is back in its original place, just go ahead and screw it down and put back the pop-off rivets where it used to be. And the last step to completing each project, just putting back on the bumper, start by lifting it and setting it in the center, and then just start putting the piece back either from the left side or the right side. So depending on wherever you start, just work your way to the other end of the bumper, and everything should align back into its original place perfectly. This is what the finished product looks like. I love the way it came out. I had fun doing the project. It was a little bit time consuming than usual, but it was fun overall. Hope you guys have the time to do this. My only thing is I wish I hadn't painted my high beam chrome, because I still want to be able to use my high beam. But other than that, it was fun overall. I hope you guys take advantage of my mistake and apply it to your own. If you guys like my video, please rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.